Today is Tuesday, December 30th, 2025, and here is the news that you can use. Before we jump in, a quick heads up about the Exchange Weekly, the sister companion to the Exchange Daily. It provides a recap that pulls together the week's biggest moves, connects the dots, and translates it into what CIOs, CISOs, and CTOs should actually do next. The Exchange Weekly is free right now, but that free access ends tomorrow night at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. After tomorrow, it moves to a subscription basis. Lock in your subscription for less than the cost of a single cup of coffee at your favorite coffee shop each month. If you want to lock in the discount, don't wait, because the discount is only valid until tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. You can subscribe at the Exchange website. That's at tie.metora.solutions. No need to add a .com to the end. That's tie.metora.solutions. The Exchange Daily Newscast will continue to flow here and on most podcast networks such as Spotify, Apple Podcast, X, and Amazon Music. Today we're tracking an exploited database vulnerability, a FedRAMP 20x baseline update, and a semiconductor financing filing that ties directly to AI infrastructure planning. We'll also cover new research on AI oversight, practical cloud tuning for AI workloads, and 2 NIST releases for 2026 planning. Let's get into it. First up, MongoDB Server CVE-2025-14847 is referenced as added to the CISA Known Exploited Vulnerabilities Catalog through the National Vulnerability Database Record. When a data platform issue is flagged this way, it stops being theoretical and becomes operationally urgent. Your immediate move is inventory, including managed services, dev clusters that drifted into production, and any instances reachable from the public internet. Next, confirm versions, apply vendor guidance, and validate that access paths are locked down to only what you truly need. If you can't patch immediately, document compensating controls and put a short deadline on them. Turning to federal cloud operations, FedRAMP 20x published an update to the Key Security Indicators baseline, labeled version 2512A. Baseline changes can ripple into what evidence you collect and how you describe controls, even if your authorization package is already in flight. Assign one owner to read the version history, identify what change that affects your system, and turn that into a dated checklist for engineering and GRC teams. Vendors should brief customers on what changes and what stays the same, so downstream teams don't discover the delta late. If you're targeting FedRAMP 20x pathways in 2026, treat baseline tracking as a standing operating rhythm, not a one-time scramble. Now to the hardware and strategy signal. Intel's Form 8K states it completed a private placement issuance and sale tied to NVIDIA for $5 billion, priced at $23.28 per share. For tech leaders, the point isn't the market reaction, it's what this implies about long-run AI infrastructure alignment and vendor concentration. If your roadmap depends on accelerator availability, treat strategic investments like this as inputs to your supplier risk register and your contract language. Use it as a prompt to review second source options, portability plans, and what happens to delivery schedules if one supplier tightens allocation. This is also a reminder to separate near-term product decisions from long-horizon platform bets. On AI governance, OpenAI published work on evaluating chain-of-thought monitorability, which is about measuring whether a system's internal reasoning can be supervised in a reliable way. That matters because agentic AI is moving into workflows where you can't pre-approve every intermediate step. Output-only monitoring can miss the decision path that created the harm, especially in high-stakes contexts. The executive takeaway is simple. Trust is not a control, but measurable monitoring can become a control if you design it and test it. If you're deploying agents, make sure your governance model includes telemetry, escalation triggers, and a way to audit what the system was trying to do. In cloud engineering, AWS published guidance on efficient image and model caching strategies for AI, machine learning, and generative AI workloads on Amazon EKS. The message is that storage and caching decisions drive startup time, GPU utilization, and total cost, so they're platform fundamentals. If your nodes spend time pulling huge container images or repeatedly downloading model artifacts, you're paying for idle accelerators and slower recovery after failures. The operational move is to standardize a caching pattern, measure cold start time, and make that a tracked platform metric like latency or availability. This is where platform engineering and FinOps can align, because efficiency improvements turn directly into capacity and budget wins. For Federal Health IT, the Federal Register shows HHS, ASTP, and ONC withdrawing the remaining proposals that were not finalized from the HTI-2 proposed rule, effective December 29, 2025. This is a planning reminder that regulatory scope can change quickly, and programs need a way to pivot without wasting budget. If you staffed work around the proposed provisions, map what remains binding, what has been superseded by final rules, and what can be paused without creating compliance debt. Then update vendor statements of work, project plans, and stakeholder communications, so teams aren't implementing requirements that no longer exist. For CIOs, this is also a chance to reallocate time toward interoperability work that is clearly durable. From NIST, there's a practical release on crypto agility, focused on preparing for cryptographic transitions without outages and unplanned risk. Crypto agility is a continuity problem as much as a security problem, because cryptography is embedded across identity systems, certificates, libraries, endpoints, and third-party dependencies. If you don't know where cryptography lives, you can't migrate it safely, and you can't measure risk reduction when algorithms have to change. Start with a cryptographic inventory, tie it to system owners, and create a phased plan with testing and rollback. This becomes even more important as post-quantum transitions move from theory into procurement and implementation schedules. Finally, NIST published a second public draft of SP 1308, a CSF 2.0 Quick Start Guide that connects cybersecurity outcomes to enterprise risk management and workforce management. This matters because programs fail in execution, not intent, and execution depends on roles, skills, and accountability, not just tooling. Use this draft to align leadership on ownership for each CSF outcome and the measures you will report on month to month. Then connect those outcomes to staffing plans, training plans, and budget decisions, so the program is sustainable. If your board asks what good looks like, this draft helps translate framework language into an operating model. That's the exchange for today. Remember, inspect what you expect. If you are interested in how this newscast is created or want more information about how to be a part of it, contact podcasts@matorasolutions.com. That's podcasts with an S at matorasolutions.com.